Okay, I'm going to demonstration of mobile app development in native Java. So this is towards a computer science degree for University of Greenwich, and here I am now in the app. So the app is running in my mobile app, an Android app. So in this course, we are developing a mobile app for expense tracking, and you can be able to track the expenses for the trips you made. So this is a main activity. So where we are having a database helper just to able to persist the state of the app. So from the screen, briefly, okay, maybe I could take you. There is a navigation, and then there is a button navigation which has been implemented, as you can see from uh, uh, this on creator lifecycle method is able to uh, we are implementing the navigation for bottom and all those bottom navigation and then the nav controller for the UI. So the UI is simple and not very complicated. So as you can see from the screen, uh, let me just show you how to add trips. We have expenses, so we can go all the way to adding. You can be able to view all the trips, as you can see. Then you can be able to view the details of the trip. Just like in this trip, visit to Nairobi National Park, you had two expenses, and you can see the details from there. And so we could start to add a trip. We see the progress. So here we go. So you can see that button. That button is implemented. Uh, Sorry, let me just show you the app itself now. There's that trip, new trip. Yeah, so there's this class we've developed here for being able to add a trip, as you can see. So we are capturing all this. We are so the trip is capturing all this. These are the properties, field properties which are exposed. And then from here, we are able, or using this on creator lifecycle handler method, we are able to reference them. So you could reference to an edit text. So destination, for example, destination, which is a destination. You can see it's an edit text from the Android core. So all these fields, the context, the cycler for trip and adapter, all of them, we are referencing them down there, and then using this if this exception, we're able to catch, go back if all is successful, and then we are going to show. So let's go. Yes, from here now, you just let's see. Okay, that's a mistake. Okay, that's for resetting the database. I think resetting the database. So if you go to profile, if you have viewed all the trips, and then you add. Oh, yes, there's a memory issue, but you just can close. Let me start the app once again. Things there's a memory issue with the app. I have to let me restart the app. So relaunch the app. Yeah, so that is a splash screen. You just have to log in. Just add motion. Forgot to mention that we have login here. So we have a login view. Journal@me.com, and then you're going to sign with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a password, and then we are good to go. Sign up is working. Okay, good to go. So now we are in the home page of the app. The login activity is we are extending the Android Android core library. So borrowing all this, so we are using all this uh, using Android app activity, which you are extending here. This Android X, and then yeah, we're taking all this field, and then we are referencing them here. So using this event listener here, the click on listener, we're able to listen. We just the one we just showed. We're able to take this view and then display all this. So the text box, which was just showing the email, and then we're getting from the user input all this, and then if using this logic, if email is correct, then this one is showing if this is not, if the password is correct. So this is just hard coded. Then you have a new activity or an intent to log this to main activity, and so else you're going to confirm. You're not going to. So if it's successful, you if username and password is correct, you just move him to this login activity, to main activity, and then else you see you're not going to be uh, to log in. So you get an error. You cannot get that data. So anyway, let's go back to adding trips. So here we go. Click that button. As you see, once you click that button, it's able to present to you. So this is implemented in this trip new activity. Yes, so this is the class trip new activity, and then capturing all these using a database mapper. So we are mapping our data. We are processing the data on SQL. So there is an implementation of SQL which I'm going to show, and so yeah, all these fields are captured. And then it would so and then using this on create cycle method, you we reference all these fields. For example, this enter new trip, you can find enter new trip name. So this is a field which is being captured here, which is captured there. So we take all the fields, and then if it's okay, we able there is an element of navigation back, and then the move, and then they are if they are then we are mapping them using an adapter just to correct all of them, adapter, and then sending them for persisting. And then let me just add them physically. You see, let's say we assume this one will be going to present to a client. So this one will be trip first, trip to Mombasa, Mombasa, Mombasa. So select department, we are developers, and then the destination, Mombasa, Mombasa. Then we have implemented a dialog. So this is this dialog, and then the date dialog itself, the date dialog itself is yeah, this is the one here. So here we are taking the date dialog. This dialog is implemented using this what you see here. There is a new we are starting a new date dialog. So we are a new date instance, and then that's what you can see, and then we are setting the date. So let's say this happened on 10, and then so that's a trip. Then the amount spent, we could just say it's $2,000, and then this customer could say yes, and then we could enter finish, completed successfully, completed successfully. So I think we're good to go then. So once we add the trip, Then we can go to adding now the expenses from here. And now that's where you see you said that there is a send click listener, which is a type of a view where we are starting a new view, and then using this on click listener events, Android events, and then be able to check that calendar and date and all that. So all the fields have been captured, and then as you can see, all the properties have been captured using this on set on click listener, and then they are validated also. That's why they are also validated. For the input user input, they must be validated before you enter. And so uh, let's just add expense. So for that, if you pause it, will you can go back. It will just continue. So that's why we have this and on resume lifecycle handler. Protected on resume. Yes, I think that's on resume, on create, and yeah. So that is for on resume lifecycle handler inbuilt, and then all these fields have been validated, as you can see from here. So for that, we have this expense class, which is capturing all the properties as usual. This is a button. Let's say this button. So we are taking private view pattern, which we are importing from Android. So all of them are imported, as you can see. Let's say button, text, edit text box. So for example, edit text box, which one? Edit text box. Most yes. So the amount here is a text box. Expense, all of them they are imported from the Android core library, as you can see here. Text box, where is it? Edit text, yeah. All of these Android core library, and then yes. So let's now add an expense. So in that trip, let's say we had food, then the amount. Let's say we spent 1,000, and then B we could say it is 11, 10, 22. Yes, and then team. So team lunch. So assume that is team lunch, and then that's why the expense was coming up to that. You could add another expense like travel, going there. You had, let's say, travel to, and then let's assume we had one, we spent 1,000 also. And then same. So we could get a comment this one. Train. We could say we use a train to go to Mombasa. Yeah, we have a fast train here, SGR, for those who have visited Mombasa. And then so we have two expenses. We just add. Now you see we have two expenses. Then they are going to be persistent in the database. So from here you can see we have also that you pop up there just for animation, just to show that a trip has been added to Mombasa. Uh, so if I exit my app, for example, I just go to home, the to show that the database SQLite is working. The I'll find the state of the app, same. The property will be still the same. You can see I can still resume to the same place if this one is not implemented. So there is a database mapper here, which is SQLite implementation, which is done. So we have database SQLite in the internal database which we are using here. So for the on create, when the application is uh, opened, and then you can see we are creating all that database and taking all the fields, and so the following fields, and for the adding trip, so all those properties, all these fields, they are captured, and then we can be adding the expenses, and then actually we have even for uh, deleting trips, all these, as you can see. I'm going to show that one how when we delete the trip, So the database is able to delete the trips, and then we are mapping them here with an array. We are collecting all the SQL. This is a collect select star. So we are selecting querying the database, and so that to show get trips. So when we're saying get trips, for example, or for example, you can see, for example, here, even search itself, you can see. So this is uh, this view, the whole view is this implementation to be able to capture all, to get the main trips and to capture all this. So from this database queries, as you can see from all that side, yeah, to get the expenses. So there's a database query for each of these fields from the database. Eh, quite a lot, but and then, yeah, maybe I could demonstrate for the search functionality. This is the implementation. Let's say we want to search for corp. You can see it's already demonstrated the search is working using uh, this method for search trip, and then we are querying the database using an array and capturing them, mapping them uh, to one view. And so search is working. Uh, Maybe I would demonstrate for deleting a field. But before I go there, so for this one is item on click, this one I have demonstrated. So how our database is working is we have a models for consisting. Let's say the expenses. We can start with trip. These are the expenses, and so we have a model. There's a way to be able to nicely be able to capture. So this is the shape of our data. So these are the other. This is a constructor. It's taking all these fields as arguments, strip ID and all that as argument. Then the class itself is strip ID, and then we are oh, we are capturing that all these fields, and then here, as you can see, here we have all these which you could call like public these methods like public set getters and setters, all these setters and getters for all those actions. Those are like normal setters and getters. And then for the expenses in case, this is our data field, data type, and then as you can see, same in case happen the getters and the setters. So most important thing is we have a constructor which is there. Every time this class is called, these fields are created. So it comes with just Java normal implementation. Java is implementation. And then I think the UI is simple as I had demonstrated. Login, main screen, splash screen. Not much there, but I think the major implementation I haven't common interface. Okay, create expense. Okay, so this one is the one for communication to an external web service. In this case, the application logic how it works is okay. Now, for the app to be able to communicate or to talk to an external web service, we have able to implement only that we have to change the URI here in this case for matter. So in this case, so we have this class create trip expense, which is an async, synchronous, so it's working that not the same request and like the same request. So this is just it's not waiting for this is a HTTP RPC call using HTTP, and then as you can see, we have these fields preferences. We are listening to this, and then here we have a create public, create expense, which is a constructor. In this case, taking all this argument, this interface. So we have this interface, uh, common task interface, and then we have which is this one, which is this interface. As you can see, that's the shape of the interface. As you can see, it's just having one property on result string, and then so properties is just a way to expose the fields in a nice way. So we have this interface, and then so using this class, we are able to do async communication. So in the background, we can be able to send the application if we are to change this URI, to change the URI of the link. So there is dot request. So beforehand we have this all these libraries we're importing from the Android core, as you can see. So we are using the material UI for the material for the UI, and then this uh, okay HTTP, they are just for map, they're just helping us in the response, HTTP request and response. So maybe that one, just explain the code how it works, and then okay, so we have this protected method, so means that it is hidden from the implementation. It's hidden. It is not exposed to the public, so it's a protected field must be shared through the class properties. So it is not public like this one. And then this is working in the background, taking all these fields and out capturing all. If this is using this logic of this exception, we are able to get. So in this case here, we are mapping this task, which is a string, the first, and then using this logic, we're able to create a trip, and then using this library, which we are enunciating as a new client. Then we're taking the request body. So the response request body, we are putting it in our new form body builder. So we have a form body builder, and then we are capturing all the expenses from the trip. The one I had shown, just shown. Uh, okay, let's go back to the trips, maybe for Mombasa. You can see, so using all these fields, requesting all the fields, we are able to request to build a new async, and then the request, we are taking all the JSON. So the fields we are expecting in this case is JSON, and then it's done in the background. That's why you see that if the response is successful, if we are able to successfully get the uh, post to the field, so get all the fields, we are listening to the field properties from the UI, and then we get all the ones we have input from the UI, we listen to them, and then we have, if it's possible, we are received uh, if response is this and then successful, we are able to say to persist the state in the database into a web service. That's all the logic which is there, and then we can post execute, so notify, so post to the web service using this uh, try catch logic. Then the internet must be there for this to work, and then so anyway, I think I have demonstrated that. Maybe this is now this module is for you can change this one to any uh, any uh, web service where you are persisting your state so sorry, you are communicating, you want your application. This could be Firebase or any URL that you are using. You need to send or be able to capture. So also the other way it's let me see. Uh, yeah. So apart from this logic, which we are requesting, apart from this logic where we are requesting uh, from the web service or this phase, then I've demonstrated that the, it's done. The advert, which we had added an extra way of having adverts, just using this class, and then this constructor, and then set and getters. So that is not fully implemented, but Sparkskin is working, Tributor is working, everything. You have seen it, and I think they have. Mm, I'm done with it. Most we have a fragment, just a small section for the profile. I had you seen. Yeah, so this is the one for the profile. you see the profile of the app. Yeah, so that's page, that view, and where we have this field account and or account and the country. You can also reset the database, the find fragment, just a view, a portion of the view that. So I think this video is getting long. I think the all implementation have been done. So thank you for watching, and goodbye. Or maybe before that I could set the database. Yes, I could reset the database, or I could delete a trip. Let me delete one trip. For example, let me delete this trip. Then we see whether it will be deleted from the database. Good to go. So it has been deleted. And so if you go to home, we shouldn't be able to see that. You see, that logic has been deleted. We could also reset the whole database. Let's see. If we reset the whole database, we are good to go. So once you come here, you don't have any expenses or trips, and that winds up the whole video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.